Hi guys, it's been a while. I know I always say that in every single video. I hope you're well despite the state of the world at the moment. So this summer I filmed a vlog. I was on a road trip with my twin sister, one of my best friends, and my boyfriend, and I never got around to filming it or editing it, excuse me, because I just finished my bachelor. And I thought instead of putting music over it and like making it really cute, I thought I would talk you guys a little bit through like where we were. I hope you guys enjoy. It's a long one, so get a cup of coffee, make a little popcorn, and let's go.
First stop, Innsbruck, Austria. We were driving from Berlin to northern Italy to meet our friend Isa, but couldn't drive the full way in one go because my license is inconveniently expired, and it was too far for one day. So we decided to stop halfway in Austria, and it was so cute. We went for a run around the canal in the morning, explored the old city, ate schnitzel. It was super quaint with all the wildflowers, cobblestones, and the Alps looming around the river. Weird fact about me, I'm a sucker for continental breakfast. Give me a standard hotel breakfast buffet any day. The drive from Austria to Italy is right through the Tyrolean Alps. Medieval castles dotting the cliffside and tunnels barreling right through the core of the mountain. This definitely beats driving on the German Autobahn for 12 hours. After some hours, we arrived in Abano Terme, a sleepy little Italian town known for its thermal baths. We stayed just one night and met my friend's family before continuing on. It was so hot this day, so I asked Tue to cut my hair. We had just one warm night in Abano Terme and then to the famous city of Florence to pick up my twin sister Amelia at the airport. We explored Florence in the evening to get some food and wander a little bit before retreating to our Airbnb in the hills, which we would call home for the next 8 days.
Don't play with my heart. Who was on one today? We made it.
We stayed near Ponte Sieve, about an hour away from Florence in the mountains. It was so hot every day, but nice and breezy because we were up so high. We went on a hike one day to the top of a mountain to visit what was supposed to be a gorgeous waterfall. But after asking a local man about how long it would take, he said it was 3 hours each way. And by the look on his face, he did not believe we were capable. This only motivated us even more to get to the top, and it was so rewarding. I grew up in the forest and with a lot of access to running water and beautiful fresh air. And I moved to a city when I was 18 and haven't really looked back since. But I feel like the older I get, the more I find myself gravitating back towards running water, mountains, trees, trying to find peace from the city hustle and bustle. The water was freezing cold, but it felt really good after huffing and puffing and sweating our way up the mountain. You can't see it here, but there were dozens of people sitting around the falls, No one seemed brave enough to go in until after me and Isa plunged in, and then everyone started swimming. Don't be fooled. We thought this was like the world's largest hummingbird, but it turned out to be something called a hawk moth, and it was really, really scary. Please Google it. They look so creepy up close.
Good. Is yours good?
After a few days, we took a day trip back to Florence to meet up with some of my friends who were also in Tuscany at the time. This day was kind of a fail because we didn't eat before going out and everything closed after lunch and it was hot and we couldn't really agree on what we should do. I feel like there's always like one day like this when traveling, but thankfully we still had a nice day in the city. We all agreed that in the August Tuscan summer heat, it was best to stay away from the stone city that in Isa's dad's words said, "Florence is an inferno." We stayed in the mountains for a few days and explored the forest around our house. There were literally hundreds of butterflies. I felt like I was in a Studio Ghibli film. It was so peaceful and serene. This is the first trip me and my twin sister ever went on without our parents. We haven't been on a trip together since we were super young. It's really nice that we get to reconnect this way. We couldn't go to Florence and not see some Renaissance art. So one day when we felt more ready and organized, we went to visit the Uffizi Museum in Florence. Botticelli's The Birth of Venus is actually my favorite painting, and I started crying when I saw it. It was so beautiful in real life. I'm a huge fan of medieval and Renaissance art, and I had to see some of them in real life. It's kind of hard to tell here, but at the end of this waterfall, it was a little bit dry, and you can just see all these groups of people sitting on the edge of the waterfall, drinking wine, sitting on the sandy spots where there wasn't any water in the river, having a really nice weekend evening. It made me kind of romanticize what it would be like to live in Florence. I'll admit, I'm not great at planning when I go on trips. I'm usually more spontaneous and like to take it day by day. So I leave the planning up to Tue. One of his main goals while we were in Italy was to visit the Siena region, known for wines, and Tue was dying to do a wine tasting in the Chianti region. We also stopped for a little dessert tasting and some aperols and pizza in the evening heat. The town was charming and sleepy, and it was the last place we were in Italy before we went on to France. After 8 days of being Italian mountain goblins, we came out of the woodworks for some beach days in Cannes, which was much needed. We didn't have anywhere consistent to swim in Italy, and even though rivers and waterfalls are nice, I really love the ocean. Me and Amelia got to spend a lot of one-on-one time together, which we haven't done in many years. It's funny to see that after years of living apart, we are much more similar than we thought. Actually twinning. I don't really like the vibe in Cannes. It's like pretend bougie and austere, but the beach is public and fabulous, and we drank loads of rosé and ate moules frites and had a fabulous Mediterranean EUROTRASH summer. We always seem to find ourselves in Cannes at the same time as this huge fireworks festival they have annually. It's a nightmare to be on the beach at the same time, but luckily we can see it from the balcony. There was something cathartic and vaguely sad about it, like something was ending and something else was soon beginning. We said au revoir to Amelia at the Nice airport and left the city for Provence, specifically Vauchin, an ancient tiny town in the Riverworn mountains where Tua's family have a home. No one had visited in 2 years, so the garden had become feral. It looked vaguely Jurassic and wild. Our vacation was coming to an end. Issa worked remotely during the day, and I was busy doing research for my bachelor project. We still managed to enjoy fresh tomatoes, local cheese, lots of lunches, and walks in the hills. Okay, this is so weird. One day, me and Tua hiked to the top of this mountain, and this butterfly came over to me and legit would not leave. It even followed us down the mountain for a while and kept returning and sitting on my finger for over an hour.
You gotta go. It won't let go. Ah! I wanted to get off.
At this point, Issa had also flown home, and it was just me and Tua, the OG team. It's funny, I had all this extra time to think and prepare for the bachelor ahead of me. Some of my favorite times on this trip involved me just sitting on the balcony the whole day, listening to Lil Nas, drinking rosé, just being completely still, baking in the French sun, soaked in local wine and sunscreen. I rarely get depressed in the winter, but sometimes I get some summertime sadness, feeling like I'm not living my life to the fullest, worried I'm wasting the precious sunlight hours. And then here, at the end of August, when summer starts to fade to fall, the leaves turn crimson, the shadows grow longer, I start to feel the death of things, the transitions into darkness, responsibilities just waiting for me around the corner. But as I grow older, I feel like I can handle this transition better. I start to look forward to the crisp fall air. By the time I'm recording this, I've already finished my bachelor. There's no more school year beginnings waiting for me in the fall. I am the master of my own future now, and this is exciting. If you asked me 10 years ago where I would be, I certainly wouldn't have guessed the south of France with a fashion degree, a mustache, and a mullet. But here I am, with incredible friends and family who supported me through this whole journey. Seeing people like Amelia and Issa, people from my old life back in the States, people who have seen me through so many phases of my life, as a child, as a teen, insecure and reckless, not fitting in, not knowing who I was, but staying by my side through everything. It reminds me of the person I used to be and of how far I've come. Progress isn't linear. It doesn't happen like the seasons change. It's gradual, slow, sometimes laying dormant for a long time, waiting for the spring that only you can make happen. But I'm proud of who I am and of how far I've come, and I'm happy I get to share this journey with anyone who's watching, this random guy on the internet reflect on his summer vacation. You're not alone in this life, I promise. And as we return to Berlin, I don't feel the sadness of summer ending. I feel happy that it did. Berlin is my home now, and I'm excited to return. It's full of possibilities, and I can't wait to see where I go from here.